Welcome to our 5 on 5. We're pleased to be joined by Dr. Knute Buehler, a candidate for Secretary of State. Dr. Buehler, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me. I
All
appreciate
right, so give us a little bit about your background. This is your first foray into politics, correct?
First foray into politics. I'm an orthopedic surgeon in Bend, where I've had a medical practice for 15 years, but I've also started businesses there, run our medical group, which has 170 employees, and invented some medical products.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how long have you lived in Oregon? Are you a native Oregonian?
Yeah, I grew up in Roseburg, and then went on to Oregon State, and then educated through a number of different places, and then back to Bend, where I started the medical practice.
Yeah, not a bad place to live. Everybody loves
Yeah,
Bend.
I think Bend's one of the most beautiful cities in the state, that's for sure.
So I got to ask, you're a accomplished doctor. I know you have a wife, you have a lot of outdoor activities you're into. Why in the world are you getting into politics?
Yeah, it's not so much politics I'm interested in, but really helping people, and I think that's really consistent with being a physician. Now I do that one at a time, and I just see in the future solving people's problems on a little bit larger scale. But I think that's still, caring about the person, the individual, is consistent with medicine, even in politics.
Mm-hmm. And what about the position of Secretary of State? Why Secretary of State in particular?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. Two main reasons. I think the Secretary of State's office has really been underperforming for the last 12 years, and I see so much more potential there that we can do. And I think it's probably the best way that we can have a pretty quick impact in solving people's problems. So that's what attracts me to the Secretary of State's office.
Mm-hmm. And speaking for your own skills, I mean, obviously you have a background in medicine. Well, what skills do you have that translates into the public sector? Yeah,
well, I think when you look at the state budget, almost 75% of the state budget are two areas that have quite a bit of expertise. That's healthcare and education. I know healthcare from the grassroots level in the state, which is about 55% of the state budget, and then education is 55% of the state budget. And I've been educated here and gone to school through K through 12, and then the rest, 25%, is healthcare, which I understand from my medical background. So I think that translates well into the public arena.
Excellent. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll have much more with Dr. Buehler in just a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with Dr. Knute Buehler, a candidate for Secretary of State for the state of Oregon. Knute, what do you foresee as the hardest challenge facing this Secretary of State's position in the next 2 years? Yeah,
I think the Secretary of State's office and any politician in Oregon really should be focused on getting Oregon back to work. Getting people jobs, getting the state functioning at a higher level than what we've seen the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been amazed in talking to Secretary Kate Brown, kind of the many powers the Secretary of State has in the state of Oregon. What changes do you look to make, or are there any improvements you're looking to make in particular?
Yeah, one of the things I've really learned in traveling around the state and talking to voters is the lack of awareness about the duties of the Secretary of State. Besides being the second highest state office holder, it also is in charge of such things as the audits division, the corporate division, and the election division. And those areas really allow for a Secretary of State who's activist and really energetic to have a real impact quite quickly. For example, the audit division, they're as concerned about waste and inefficiency in Oregon state government, and the audit division allows you to look under the tent of any underperforming state agency and then the soapbox of a statewide office to talk about those findings.
Yeah, okay, all right, and where can viewers get more information about you and your candidacy?
Yeah, two places, Buehler2012.com. Buehler is B-U-E-H-L-E-R. Yes. And then, of course, we're on the ever-present Facebook these days on Dr. Knute Buehler, and you can find us in either one of those places.
Dr. Buehler, pleasure to meet you.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, stay with us. We'll be right back.